Welcome back, fellas. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Yeah. Happy New Year.
23, man, it's crazy.
Crazy.
And I think if we look back, man, let's do a retrospect. If we take a look at 2022, but maybe not even 2022, back to 21, 20.
COVID.
You know,
Back it
COVID
up,
kicked
back it
off.
up.
You know, I know we got some things we can spit on this episode. So with that, let's go and jump in, Big
Wait,
C.
time.
Okay.
You know, I keep trying to get y'all to remember to like and subscribe to the videos. Without your input, we can't improve the product. So with that, I'm gonna commence to whipping this tail.
What's up with you Michigan guys and the timeouts? Weber?
Oh, hey, that was below the belt right
Ouch.
there.
I apologize.
Man. You know, I don't like you much.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. It's been a trying 2-3 years for me, as it has been for a lot of people. You know, we've gone from COVID, losing friends, losing families, gaining new friends, you know, through COVID, the isolation. It's been pretty traumatic, man, over the years. But I'm thankful to be here. You know, I learned to cook a little bit more while I was isolated during COVID.
Cook what?
Just different things, man. You know, when you're isolated, you have to try different things. You know what I mean? So I learned to do some things that I had no interest in prior to. But it's been trying. I'm thankful to be here. You know, life's just taking a turn, man, that it's a new normal. Okay? And we may never go back to what we consider an old normal, you know, or what used to be, so to speak. So that's where we are, man. I'm thankful. Glad to see you guys, and I know we got a lot to talk about.
It's funny you mentioned new normal, and it just kind of triggered me. I'm wondering if we're like in the middle of a like revolutionary time or whatever, because I would imagine like during the revolution or the Renaissance, they didn't realize they were in that, but there's been so much change, you know. So fast forward 10, 15, 20 years, you know, students will study this time, and I wonder what the name is going to be that we're living in right now. It's just interesting. But like you say, man, it's been definitely rough over the past 36 months. I was so very happy when the clock hit 12 the other night.
Please.
When the clock hit 12 the other night, because it was just like a new beginning for me, man. And again, I'm happy to be here whooping you guys. You got my 15.
I got your 15, same thing.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Don't stop.
Cool. Tom, what you got, Bill?
And it's been, I don't know, it's been interesting to say the least, man.
2020.
And I think something that y'all were just talking about, especially you, just JP. I think this all is part of the second coming too of Jesus Christ.
There we go.
You know, I mean, I really, you mentioned it as a revolution, but it's, you know, of course our time is not his time, and it may not even happen, and we see it, but it certainly seems like things are unfolding, because these are things that are way outside of what we could even ever think.
Agreed.
You know? I mean, who would have thought that all these people would have died over the course of across the whole world,
Again, man.
and basically the entire
Slap it one more time.
and basically the entire country shut down. You know, so that to me has been what my thoughts are. Personally, I see some good that came out of it, because, you know,
15.
while in the midst of COVID, we saved a whole bunch of money. You know, I'm serious. I mean, you know, more money than we ever did. We didn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
You know, we were having a lot more family time. It was almost like it was at the same time, while it was
A negative.
negative thing, a lot of positive sides were part of it too. I saw so many of my neighbors out walking and exercising and riding bicycles, and you know, it was just a.
I got to meet quite a few neighbors that I knew in passing, but I kind of got to know them on a more regular basis.
Yeah.
And I'd sit in the driveway and with the grandkids and all this, and you know, people would walk by every day or every other day. So I kind of got to know them a little bit.
Yeah.
And so there were a lot of positives. Obviously, people lost their lives and got very ill at various times. And that was very difficult. One of the things that I did notice, even with my mother, she became very isolated. And with her, it was church on Wednesday, Bible study with her friends, and they're having older church, right? So they didn't have streaming. Right? So, and on Sunday, she and her group would get together, these seniors would get together and go out for lunch after church, right? Well, once that was over, Bible study was over on Wednesday, she was isolated. And it has done an absolute number on her, man. And I've noticed it.
Yeah.
And she actually, I could see the actual difference in her, both physically and mentally, during these 3 years. Obviously, she's older, but COVID did a number on her, man.
Well,
It isolated
for
her.
a lot of people, man, especially older people, that was their connection. Especially church.
Yeah.
And when church shut down, and even if you were streaming, you said she didn't have streaming, but even if you were streaming, you were still at home by yourself, and it wasn't like you talked to Miss Bernice and y'all
Right.
yuck it up about whatever grandkids or something.
We
like
called
that.
it Bedside Baptist.
Yeah,
I mean,
whatever.
It's what we had, and we didn't go to church for over a year.
Right.
Literally, we didn't go to church for over a year. Hush. However, it brought in a new normal, for a lot of people. A lot of people, I don't want to say may never go back to church, unfortunately, but there is a way you can still receive the word. There's no place like being in the house of the Lord. You can't substitute for that. However, who's playing mine?
No.
However, it did provide an out for a lot of people to still get the word, and it was good to get back. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
But G,
Really good to
you
get
said
back.
something, and it's funny how our show go. When we think we're gonna go left, we end up going right.
Get to the point, bro.
The point for me was that, we used to record
Yeah.
a lot of services. CD. You can go get you a CD at the service.
Yep.
Right.
$10 DVD for 15 or something like that. We cut all that out and that connectivity. So we've broken our church down to care for some of the seniors.
Right.
And man, we got some CDs and whatever. And we don't have no CD player no more. You know what I mean? When you really look at DVDs and all of that stuff,
Yeah.
it ain't even in vehicles anymore. You know what I mean? A cat was on the corner telling my man, buy my CD. I don't have a CD player, so why I'm gonna buy your CD as you go through it? So when you
amazing.
talk about the new norm and things that have fast pace, man, it's been crazy.
On the other end, man, children, right? Instead of books, man, they're on iPads. So the publishing industry, for example, that's
Everything's
crazy.
digital.
Yeah, bro.
And it's just the way technology has evolved. And as Tom talked about, it's biblical. Well, this is just the Bible fulfilling itself in a lot of ways. Technology has overtaken us. Everything's judged by what? A number. Whether it's social security number, whether it's identifier, some type of identifier. It's a 10-digit number, or whatever the case may be. So things are just different, man. We've gone this way.
It took you that long to realize you
It
have
did.
it too?
Well, I was talking. I can't do two things at one time.
We see that.
But it's okay. But I do the one thing well.
Pass. That's what you do.
And I pass.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
But now
You
you
know
know
what,
what, put
though?
me on
You-
the clock, so let's go.
And look, and by the way, I like your Christmas gift, man.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Dude, I had no. I hope my daughter's not listening. I had no inkling or wish for a watch, but I'm so glad I got it.
Oh, that's nice, man. Nice to see that,
On that phone, it does everything, but it was nice.
Okay.
I had to write
Yeah.
it for that, bro.
But you know what? As I think what you guys are saying, the new normal, we've gotten accustomed to, in some ways, being more insular because you stay at home. But the other benefit is the closeness you create with your family.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know, there's so many things that I found myself doing by staying at home, that I wouldn't have done in the past.
You ain't played no dominoes though while you was at home.
Wow.
It's your play.
It's my play.
Greek yogurt.
That quick,
here's
huh?
here's a question for y'all. So what is, since COVID, what is y'all new normal thing, and what is the thing that you miss that you no longer do?
My new normal is staying home. I enjoy being at home, which was already an evolutionary process for me. As I've gotten older, I enjoy being at home a lot more. I used to open it up and close it down. You know how it went, right? But for me now, I prefer being at home, and that just accentuated that process for me during COVID. Dude, I started cooking like a chef. I mean, honestly, the kids probably got tired of it, but it was something I did because we didn't have anything else to do.
Cooking or burning?
No, I was cooking.
The
your new-
lighter
so,
fluid.
She's new norm was staying home. Johnny, what was yours?
Yeah, I guess so. And I was gonna say, so what was
What
the
is
thing
the-
you missed?
The thing that I missed probably was playing golf. You know, even though I still got an opportunity to play because we were outside, so you still not have to wear a mask necessarily, but just gathering with the fellas,
Right.
our group of golfers. So I kind of missed that.
Yeah.
You know, we didn't do it as much.
Johnny, what about you, man?
10 before you say anything.
You gonna
else.
get 10 that way?
I'm gonna get it like that.
That's dirty.
Yeah, man. For me, the new normal, staying at home more because
15.
I am a I can't sit still, right? So being at home, it's been great. Those children's books were birthed out of COVID,
Nice.
and being in isolation. In terms of anything that I miss, not really, man, because the those things trump what I would have been doing, right? And the distractions that I would have had just allowed me to focus more. So I'm thankful for that. Yeah.
Tom, what about you?
I'm trying to think what I'm missing. Quite frankly. Now, one of the things that G said I do miss, I did have a regular.
Something?
I had a regular golf group that I played with, and that sort of disbanded. So I'm not playing golf as much as I used
Right.
to. But in terms of the thing that I picked up is, us being at home, hanging out, getting a chance to eat dinner together, which is not something that we were kind of passing each other. Me and Kim were eating dinner together, but the kids had their own little thing. So, that part was really interesting. But what about you, Rob?
So, what I miss, I guess, being in the gym.
Twanky.
Wow.
Such a
Damn, would you hold
20,
him, man?
25.
Can't hold him, man.
I guess you can't. So for me,
Were you working in the gym? What were you doing
being
in the gym?
in the gym,
Valiant cars?
basketball games, being the assembly of a lot of folks. Basketball. When COVID came out, my daughter was going into her senior year. Thanks be to God that she had already committed. But her whole junior to senior year, AAU season was a wrap.
Yeah.
Crazy,
It was done, you know what I mean? So while we had tickets to go to Charlotte, Vegas, and all of that was a wrap. Like I said, she didn't get an opportunity to get out there and showcase. So I guess I missed that camaraderie, being out.
Let me interrupt you real quick while you're there. You said, thank God she was already committed. No, thank God she was already committed, bro, because that was my daughter graduated 2020 also. No prom, no senior pictures, no
That was my next thing.
nothing, bro.
Yeah.
So the fact that she was committed, and salute to you as a father and Chanel as a mother, that AAU, man, that starts early. So, and what y'all have done, and I know your daughters and they're beautiful young girls, so salute to you on that one. But you're right, there's so many people that missed out because of those situations, man. So thank God for real, bro.
Yeah. I mean, so, albeit, a tragic situation as we go, it is a thankful. And I guess what I picked up, man, just eating. You know what I mean? I've expanded, contracted, expanded, contracted. So expanded some more. You know what I mean? I expanded a little more. So I guess that's what I picked up. Oh yeah, I picked that aspect of it. That same thing as we go through with it.
tired of that,
That's what
bro.
I picked up.
I think that happened to a lot of people in COVID, because you weren't getting out, you were in the house eating and doing stuff like that.
My daughter was, it's very unfortunate. And you talked about my daughter graduated the same time, JP.
My son, too.
And she missed out on her prom.
Everything.
We had an isolated graduation where we had a time slot where we had a 20-minute time slot where we had to do all the introductions and go across the stage, and you would come in as an individual with your family, and you sit there and they play this little dun 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 dun.
Man, don't drive
and you
through
do
the
that,
neighborhood.
dude.
Birthdays, man. You drive through, toot
but
your horn.
here's the one thing and we did all that, but she was bitter about it because she got to miss. She didn't get to go to prom.
Right, bro.
Any of that. Even her trips. We were on our way to Tennessee State, right? Tiger Day got canceled, right? And luckily, as you said, already committed, we had gone to Southern, and before we came over the bridge, she had decided, or she said, Dad, it's something about this school that I like it. I said, well, let's, I just kind of blew it off. Let's just wait and see what happens, And she said something later, Dad, I think this is it. And I just made a mental note. And the other schools we didn't really get to go to, where she wanted to go, we're going to Howard, Hampton. Those trips got canceled. And it was a blessing. You know, blessings come in a lot of ways,
Right,
man. You
right.
know, it's like being late. It's like being late to something, and you don't realize, you know, God was
timing, bro.
blocking you from that accident that was up ahead, right? So things happen, man, in ways that we don't always understand, but it turned out to be a good thing. And my thing to her was, and the last thing I'll say is, I implored her to use this as fuel to her fire for her next graduation, which is college, right? And if she goes on to get her master's or goes to law school, let that be your impetus to do those things.
Pin.
But don't harbor ill will, because things are out of your control.
Yeah, you know, but I think that's easier said than done.
It is.
Because my son will
But
bring
as
it
a
up.
father, I gotta tell her that.
Right, he brings it up every now and then, and so much so that the other day he mentioned that at PV they were thinking about having a prom for the class of 2020. You know, 2020 graduates, and I was like, man, that'd be cool. But yeah, he didn't get to do the same thing. You know, I mean, really
Senior
after
trip,
after
all
spring break, they were at home.
Let me throw one. And
10 pin.
No, it ain't your turn. It's Dan's turn.
I already played.
What you play?
I played six blank.
I'm just trying to get you to hold him. I don't want him to
can't-
play.
Can we get some respect in 2-3, brother?
Well,
You beating Dan like a
beating him like a
stepchild.
drum.
What I ain't got nothing to do with that. Need my points, bro.
You got your point.
My
Dan,
perks.
what was what was yours?
Getting whooped on these dominoes right now.
That's true.
You know what? For me, kind of the same thing, right? Because my daughter's the same age. You know, it's tennis shoes right there, but it's I guess it's hard to say because there's so many things. You know, all the interactions, being able to sit in a club and smoke cigars, that's taken away from you. Things where you fellowship that aren't necessarily at church, but different places you go to, you find yourself missing those opportunities just to, decompress. And so I guess one thing that's been good though is Big Six, because we've been able to continue to hang out and do things as a group. But the new normal, so to speak, is definitely, a challenge.
Yeah.
So in we're looking at 2020, 21, 22. What's one big thing, you came or birthed out of 2022 as we slid into 2023. What birthed? I don't want to say what New Year's resolution we started at, but what birthed out of 2022 that we're holding on and we're going to carry in 2023.
You said burden?
Birth. Got him.
No, you got me.
Yes, sir.
Got me.
Say it one more
I
again.
knew I was gonna get one. I didn't know I was gonna get two.
Don't worry about it, though, G.
For me, in terms of birth, there was a lot of new role at the J that's more aligned with my passion around diversity and equity and inclusion in corporate space. I'm a blessing. That's a blessing. So I'm approaching that and looking forward to that. Personally, in terms of my daughter, as you all time is flying. Next year there'll be seniors, so this year is very important in terms of internships and everything. And just business wise, man, just continuing to grind hard on those businesses. But all of that leads to the word discipline and focus. So just riding in on doing me.
Right, right. Gee, what birth out of 2022 since you didn't just play?
Man, I messed up.
What birthed out of 22 for me was a new desire to. I'm a people person. I'm a sales guy, right? So COVID took me out of my realm or out of my environment, which is out amongst the people, calling on my key accounts, right? That kept me out of the realm of doing the things that I like to do, which is being in front of people, right? And so I've got a renewed vigor to get back and do the things that I enjoy doing. And it just wasn't happening, man. So that and just a new desire to be caretaker. Mom's coming to live with me, so that's going to be a tough one for me.
That's great. Sorry to interrupt on that part, but you're getting up, right?
I'm getting up.
Okay, you good.
So let's just highlight. Let's just highlight.
Where's my trophy?
Ain't gonna
though?
highlight
So Johnny won. So
Where's the
Dan has
trophy?
to get up.
The first victory of 2023. Where's the
you
trophy?
won one. So
Where's the
if you
trophy,
win-
bro?
You won another one. You ain't the winner for the
Very
night.
disrespectful,
Oh,
bro.
you ain't won that one.
Listen, it's gonna sit right here though, bro. You're very disrespectful. Every time I win, I don't get the trophy, bro.
I didn't get it last time.
He's a sore loser, bro.
Hey, I didn't get it the time that I won.
Dan.
That one time.
Several times.
Like Michigan, the first to lose. But anyway,
And we ain't even want to talk about him wearing that old banana yellow gear.
so,
He got tats. He's itching.
where your khakis at?
But
You look like Jim Harbaugh.
hold on.
Where your khakis at?
But as you said, I mean, the birthing that came out of the GU Stadium. Tom, what's you 2022?
And to me, I think it's wasting time, and I got to get away from that. So with that, I'm talking like Instagram. You know, I'm not on TikTok, but I find myself sometimes I'm like, dang, I've been looking at this for an hour. You know, and that's an hour I could have done something else.
Discipline.
And so recognizing that, and then it bothers me because I feel like, dude, go research a stock. Go do something productive, you know. Go practice your golf swing or what, you know, just something like that. And so that was one of the big things that I really felt like this year I wanted to put aside and start focusing on being, you know, because I feel like ain't that much time left.
So can I interject that? And you said time, and I turned 50 last year, so I've really been like trying to, you know, being, you know,
Dude, I turned 60 this year.
understanding that that's a blessing. But feel me on this, and this is not only for us, this is for the audience as well. Find that why. Find that why do you want to make these changes, and then it will come. So, because if your why is big enough, it's going to happen. So, I mean, we can sit back and, like you say, waste time or whatever. You didn't identify the why. Sometimes we get comfortable in life.
Yeah,
You feel me?
but I also feel like it's not benefiting me at all because I'm just looking at other people, for lack of a better word, shit.
Understand.
You know, just like fight at Walmart. You know,
Yeah.
fighting in Popeyes.
Understand.
You know, and I'm sitting there and I'm giving this thing 20, 30 seconds. You know, like
it'll make you fight at Popeyes. I ain't never got no chicken.
you right.
Got it ready.
You right.
But Dan, what
Come to a black
you
neighborhood,
had?
they do.
What birthed out of 2022 for you?
You know, so 2022 was one of those years in my life that just a lot of discovery. I mean, going from, you know, having a business, State Farm, to endeavoring to open up a brokerage and sell insurance, and some of the changes that happened behind the scenes related to that have really caused me to be a lot more introspective and to appreciate the people that are around me. You know, there's so much that's happened when you look at media and society.
Oh my God.
And when you think of, like, at the end of the year, you know, this cat Twitch, you know, seemed to have everything going for him, and yet and still the burdens that he was, you know, burdened with were too much for him to overcome. And
Right.
and I guess what I'd say is I recognize that it's never about not having enough love or not having enough friends. It's about having enough faith. And so I think what I take away from 2022 is that my faith has grown stronger through a lot of things that have happened in my life.
Good point. Let me tie the bow on this. And the reason I paused was just to do that. Is that, you know, what came out of 2022 for me was an appreciation of every day, and friends, fellowship, you know, and even, you know, family. Just to be more appreciative, because, you know, when you're younger, you don't think about, you know, on your sickest day,
Right.
you well enough to die.
Right.
When you're young, you're invincible, right? But as this pandemic has happened, various things that happen, you know, it's some close friends
Oh, yeah.
that have lost their lives that, you know, in good reason you would think would still be here. So for me, it is to not to waste every day. You talk about it's about time. It's to be a steward, a good, better steward of the time that I'm allowed on this earth. You know, I'm fortunate enough. My mother's 88 years young. She with me now. You know what I mean? To appreciate just the little, be able to, you know, grab her cane and walk with her down the aisle or something like that. You know, and don't take it for granted. So when I look back in 2022, it is that it's all about time. And to be a better steward of time, and more importantly, to show love.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because the world is so full of everything else, I'm obligated to show love, you know, as we go through. So like any episode, we thank you for rocking with us, rolling with us. You know, peace, love, and hair grease. Take whichever one you need.